Hey, Jimmy here from the Spotlight team at Keller Williams in beautiful Tyler, Texas, your #1 source for all that matters in the world of real estate. Now today we're going to talk about the top things you need to know about this 3.8% tax. Now there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of misinformation spread about this tax as part of the Affordable Health Care Plan, or Obamacare as we've come to know it. Facts are, while there is a new tax, it will likely impact very, very few and should have very little, if any, impact on the market here. In this video, we're going to set the record straight about this new rule. So here's the top things you need to know about this tax. Number one, and most importantly, when you add up all of your income from every possible source that you have, and that total is less than $200,000 or $250,000 if you're filing a joint return, you'll not be subject to this tax. Bottom line, if you're going to fall below that threshold with all of your income, then that 3.8% tax will never apply to you. Next, the 3.8% tax, if it does apply, will never be collected as any kind of a transfer tax on real estate of any type. So you'll never pay the transaction at the time that you purchase a home or other investment property. And you'll never pay the tax at settlement when you sell your home or other investment property. So any capital gain that you might realize at settlement would just be considered one component of that year's gross income. Now, if you sell your primary residence, you'll still receive the full benefit that exists today of the $250,000 for a single tax return or $500,000 for married filing jointly tax return exclusion on the sale of that home. So if your capital gain is greater than those amounts, then you would include any gain above that amount as income for that tax year on your tax return. But even then, if your total income, including the taxable portion of gain from your primary residence, is less than the threshold of the $200,000 or $250,000 amount, you still will not pay the tax. And if your total income is more than those amounts, then there'll be a formula that would still protect some portion of your investment. The tax applies to other types of investment income, not just real estate. So if your income is more than the 200 or the 250 amount, then the tax formula will be applied to all your capital gains, interest income, dividend income, and net rents that would be above that amount. So it's not just real estate that you may have heard, but in fact it really applies to any kinds of capital gains and interest incomes as well. The tax does go into effect in 2013. But keep in mind, if you have investment income in 2013, you won't actually pay the 3.8% tax until you file your 2013 Form 1040 tax return in 2014. The 3.8% tax for any later year will always be paid in the following calendar year when you actually file your tax returns. In any particular year, if you have no income from capital gains, rents, interest, or dividends, you'll never pay this tax, even if you have millions of dollars of other types of income. The formula that determines the amount of 3.8% tax due will always protect the $200,000 or the $250,000 if it's a joint return of your income from any burden of that 3.8% tax. So for example, if you're single and you have a total of $201,000 in income, the 3.8% tax would never be imposed on more than the $1,000, which is the amount above the threshold amount. And finally, it is true that investment income from rents on an investment property could be subject to the 3.8% tax, but the only rental income that would be included in your gross income and therefore possibly subject to the tax is your net rental income, which is your gross rents minus expenses like your depreciation, interest, property taxes, maintenance, utilities. So that's it. Some quick points about what really is going on with the tax, and as you can see, unless you meet certain thresholds, it's not going to apply. And to most of us, it's probably not going to apply to what we're doing. So in this case, glad to set the record straight. Remember, if you have any questions, need any real estate needs, Spotlight team is the one that can help you out. Take care. Have a good one.